question of the day. Now, I have a question that has really been on my mind, that has been puzzling me. I've had different conversations with different people about this same context, and for whatever reason, it just disturbs me. And so I want to know, why don't we talk about sex? Now, I know that that's a kind of like a confusing question, but for whatever reason, I have talked to different people, like I said, and just heard different voices or different views of conversation on this topic, and for whatever reason, we have left the conversation of sex. We have left that conversation for other people to give. We have left that conversation for the TV. We have left that conversation for our music, or we have left our conversation through books or just life experiences. And for whatever reason, we do not take the time, we have not taken out the time to make sure that we are having this conversation at home. See, a lot of times, in for whatever reason, in generations, this was the quiet thing that no one talked about. This was the thing that no one had a communication about. For whatever reason, this is something that people felt like did not need to be discussed. But for me, I contemplate this problem, because if you are not discussing it, if you are not the one that's going to teach it, then who will? If you don't show me and teach me the proper way of what this is supposed to be like, and the importance of me being able to wait, and the reason why I need to wait, not just understanding that this is something as a Christian person, that this is something that according to scripture and according to Bible or biblical context, that this is something that God ordained for me to wait for until I am married, but also can you help me to have a clear understanding of what do I do when I have an urge, or what do I do when I'm struggling with something, that because you have not taught me, that now I have to be able to learn and try to learn by experience, or by the experiences of someone else outside of my household. So again, the question that I ask is very, I believe, important, or very, very something that people need to really comprehend or talk or think about, is why don't we talk about sex? But the more important thing is not just as a brink conversation of having this conversation across the world. No, the main emphasis is, why are we not having this conversation at home? Because again, that's where everything starts, is at the home front. I learned how I walked at home. I learned how I talked at home. I learned in reference to my manners at home. I learned how to be able to brush my teeth, or how to be able to get dressed. I learned all those things at home. So why would you want me to learn about sex somewhere else? Again, this is the question of the day. Because again, if we cannot answer this question correctly, if we cannot answer this question with the true intentions of our heart, and understanding that this is not something that should be left to someone else to be able to describe or share, or to be able to dictate how this should be, and no, it is not proper to say, if we don't talk about it, then it won't happen. That's not correct. It's going to I'ma still deal with life urges, because God created me to want to have intimacy with another person. So what all of those things for me help me to understand is just like how you taught me how to be able to control my temper, or how to be able to control my mouth, or how to be able to control myself in my behavioral aspect. You still have to teach me this one important piece, because if I do not understand the object or the reasoning or the purpose behind sex, then guess what? Then I'm left to my own life, my own experiences, and the people that I involve myself into. It's not even the people that God put me in relationship with or anything like that. It's just the people that I befriend, or the things that I watched on TV, or something that I bumped into just having a conversation with another person. Again, this is a very vitally important conversation that we should not be letting others people teach us, but you should be teaching yourself. So again, The question of the day is, why don't we talk about sex? Be blessed, fam, and talk to you later.